Today we will discuss tourism and the economy in Hawaii. Tourism is the largest single source of private capital in Hawaii, and each year tourists spend about $12 billion, and that all goes towards the economy. Over the past several years, those numbers have only been on the rise, and of all economic sectors, tourism brings the most jobs to the people of Hawaii. So not only is it one of the leading sources of income, it's also leading in jobs. Today we'll discuss specifically hotels and condos or privately owned homes and how each of which influence the economy and which one brings the most money to the economy and jobs as well. We'll have a guest here today to discuss the pros and cons of condos, hotels, and other options as far as tourists and their lodging, and which one is best for each tourist, and we will go from there. Now hand it over to our tourist expert and special guest today as he discusses different lodging options and how each of which affects the economy. My name's Andrew, and it's a pleasure to be here to get to talk about tourism, one of my expertise and what I love to do. Each year I visit Hawaii several times, so I'm very up to date on what goes on and how tourism affects the economy in such a great way. Today I'm going to talk about specifically hotels and other privately owned homes and other options for tourists as they come stay in Hawaii. Hotels are one of the largest industries in Hawaii, and they bring the most jobs. Each year so many tourists come and visit the state, and most of them do choose to stay in a hotel, and this gives them the option to do things there at the hotel or branch out and view other attractions on the islands. The beauty of a hotel is that it does not only provide many places for tourists to stay, but it also provides many jobs for the locals. And each year, throughout the year, a hotel stays occupied about 75% of the time, all 12 months, and an average room costs about $190. So you can find rooms a lot cheaper, but of course you can find rooms a lot more expensive depending on what you're looking for. But either way, hotels are a big aspect to the economy as they're just such a large industry and provide so many jobs. Now I'm going to talk about condos and any other type of privately owned homes, which includes timeshares and apartments. These can be rented for short amounts of time or even long periods of time if the tourist chooses to stay for however long. But this being privately owned does affect the economy in a lesser way than a hotel does. Where a hotel would bring in large amounts of profit to spread throughout the state, a privately owned home is only going to benefit the private owner themselves. Now this will bring in more money because opposed to a hotel where the guest is more likely to stay there throughout the day, spend time in the resort, in a privately owned home the guests are more likely to go out into the state, spend more money on other attractions. But it's all up to the tourist. If you want to stay in a hotel, you can do that and have more there right at your hands and feet to do right in there without having to go out. But you could also stay in a privately owned home, have your money saved so you can cook and clean and do the things yourself, but you're also not supporting the economy, not giving as many jobs, but you are still bringing in money. Alright, we would like to thank our special guest today for all that great information he gave us on hotels and privately owned homes and condos. And now, as we turn things back over, I would like to talk about what an actual hotel employee discussed with me as I went and interviewed her, as she chose to not be videotaped. So basically what she said is that things have really been on the rise for hotels coming out of the economic recession that we've been in. Over the past about 3 years, things have really been back on the rise and people are spending a lot more money. I even asked her about if they had any locations in Hawaii, and she did mention that she knew of one, but she didn't have much information other than it was a large chain and there's a lot more offered for in hotels in Hawaii opposed to here where you're just going to find your room and stay. They have a lot more, their hotels are more resort oriented where they offer more pools and that sort of thing, bars and whatever people are interested in doing there. So they offer a lot more for the tourists in the actual hotel, but that also does give them the opportunity to go out and branch out and find other things to do on the island.